Okay, I'm back. I think. Am I back? We back? We're back. Sorry about that. My internet tends to take a dump at this time of the night. Why? I don't know. I thought we fixed that problem, but I guess not. -2 versus range attack. That's pretty good, actually. Weakness to electricity literally doesn't matter, but you gain fire resistance, which is pretty good. I say this is pretty good. Major curse. Your minor curse expands a 15-foot emanation, grows stronger, high winds, yada yada yada. The arrow is difficult terrain for largest falling creatures on the ground, and for huge or smaller flying creatures. You aren't affected by this difficult terrain. Dangerous. Any creature that touches you, including the touch spell or melee unprotected, 26 electricity damage. Whatever. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's an 8. I already knew where these were. Okay, so let's take a look at the good ones. I'm going to take a look at the 4 best: Battle, Bones, Cosmos, and Tempest. And let's see if this combination can change these numbers. I think if you pick Battle, durability goes up to an 8. I think Blasting goes up to a 6, because you're going to be attacking more often. However, Support, Control, and Versatility all go down by 1. With Cosmos, I think your Control goes up to like a 7. Maybe even higher. And Support stays. I think Blasting goes down. I think Durability goes up too, because Cosmos is... Okay, I think you have to pick Cosmos. Like, everything here is just so good. Everything in Cosmos is just golden. I think Oracle stats are better than this. The Mithril Golem is harmed by cold and water. I'll be sure to include a Mithril Golem. Have you ever encountered a Mithril Golem? I've never seen a Mithril Golem. I've seen an Adamantine Golem. I've seen an Alchemical Golem. I've seen basically every fucking kind. I've seen a Flesh Golem. I've seen every fucking kind of Golem except Mithril, apparently. So Paizo, you got to put in some more Mithril Golems. Okay. I think Cosmos is where you want to be. You could say, okay, Tempest is good. Blasting goes up to a 6. These drop down by 1. Whatever. Actually, maybe not. I wouldn't even say these drop down by 1. So maybe this should be a 6. I think on the whole, this represents the Oracle's abilities quite well. I think with a little bit of give or take, you can finagle these a bit higher or lower. Let me reread Cosmos. I want to go over Cosmos again. This is Dazzled. That's pretty good. I think Cosmos is just really good. Yeah, this is just a nice sustained damage spell. Moonlight Bridge can be really good for controls. It's basically a wall spell. Darkness is not bad. Moon's not bad either. Moon's great. Stone Golem. Ice Golem is slowed by water. Okay, good to know. But is the Cosmos Oracle enough to convince me to move any of these numbers? And I guess I'll ask you guys as well. Is having having Tempest Oracle enough to put Blasting to a 6 overall? I wouldn't think so. Or Flames, I guess. Like Tempest, it's like you pick each of these and you can just change these numbers based on which ones you pick. But on the whole, if you just take the average of all of these, I think these numbers are accurate. And I'd like to hear any arguments against these numbers. Feel free to disagree. I encourage discussion here. Let me just zoom these in case if anyone's having a little trouble reading. And just so I can bring the rankings back, I'm just going to let everyone know that a good score you want to have is at least 40. And Oracles are sitting at a 36. I don't think you could argue that they should have a +1 in each of these categories. Is this based off the best build or the average? I have no idea. I want to say average, because if you base it off the best build, some of these numbers might go up, some of these numbers might go down. So I want to base it off the average, or maybe like the average of the bests. So I can just safely ignore that no one would be dumb enough to pick Flames, Life, Lore, Ancestors. Sorry, Marshy. Delete the comment. So I think in general, when you look at the Oracle, these are its numbers. But depending on, so if you just assume Cosmos, if I just assumed Cosmos, I put this at an 8, I put this at a 6, and then leave the rest as it is. Having straight up damage resistance versus all physical is great, and then having the control from the wall spells, the control from the debuffing from your domains is pretty good. Blasting stays the same. They don't really have very many offenses, and I don't think versatility goes up either. I don't. I'm very. I don't know where to do with this last category. I like my first 5 categories. I love each of these categories. I don't like this one because if you take a look at it, they're all just 9s, 8s, or 10s, and I'm actually just gonna dump all these by 1. To be honest, I don't know. No, why does the Sorcerer's versatility utility 9 but not the Witch's? I think the Witch's versatility utility should be a 9 just because of familiar bias. Wish, but I can cast... It can cast that it can at least equal. I agree. I think I like this for the Oracle. I think they're... Well, this is just one... Well, okay. Cosmos in battle, durability is an 8. Supports... Control... But... If I could use half numbers, I would. This would be like 7.5. This would be like 5.5. This might be like a 6.5. But I want to stay away from half numbers. I can't in good faith. I can move this up to a 6. I think I can do this in good faith. How many of these? Cosmos is just really good. Cosmos is really good. Bones was not bad either. Battle, Bones, Cosmos, and Tempest are the good ones. And they each do so many wildly things. Like maybe I could insert comment. Insert comment. Say Cosmos increase durability to 8. I could do that. Like, just do it for each of these. Durability to 8. Control to 6. Battle. Increase durability to 8. Blasting to 6. And then, like, Tempest. Increase blasting to 7. Something like that. So I think what I'll do is I'll put this maybe like a base feature, and then depending on some of these other factors, I'll increase or decrease them accordingly. And then I think now maps for every subclass of every class. You joke about that. But I could do that. Theoretically I could do that because on my Excel sheet. This is my Google Drive. I haven't done that. This is basically like the overall class. I'll just say class analysis. Because under my Excel sheet, which I don't use anymore because I don't need it anymore, because I figured out how to do the conditional formatting here, which is really fucking sexy in my opinion. I do have one for each of these, but I can just tell you that like you're not gonna pick the crappy ones, right? It's like why would you play a Chirurgeon? Who the fuck's gonna play a Chirurgeon? So I am, for sake of argument, I'm gonna buff Oracle's control to a 6, and I'm gonna leave it there. I know what's gonna happen already. I could buff their blasting to a 6 too. Yeah, Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it fair. Let's buff blasting to 6, control to a 6. I think durability for the most part is going to be the same, and I don't think it's really going to change that much. Support's the same way. I don't think any of the bonuses that they give to healing or whatnot are comparable to the cleric, which just straight up gets extra spells per day in order to do that. I like where this is. I think every class, as a result, is out of the D tier. And I think if I can effectively rate each class like on a more tight spread, that'd be on the whole better. Some people play games for fun. I mean, when I build a character, I don't take any of this into consideration. Well, actually, I do. I build characters to see if they're as bad as I think they are, because I don't play like hyper efficient characters because I already know what they're capable of. It's no fun to me to do that. But I just don't see the concept of failing fun, because I already do enough of that in real life. When I go play a game, I want to succeed, and I want to succeed as often as possible. And when I play Pathfinder, I'm not going to build a character whose key ability score is not 18 ever. I'm just not going to do it, because if I'm ever off by 1, I already know what that off by 1 is going to be from, because I didn't min-max. It's not even min-maxing. It's right there in the fucking character creation guide. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary to get an 18 in my starting skill. Or ability score, I should say. To be fair, playing mediocre characters is kind of lame sometimes. It's so bothersome for me. It's like this is the best my character has. Like, why am I playing this? I mean, I understand why people would like to play around with like unoptimized builds. Actually, I don't understand. I think they're a bunch of idiots, but it just doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't make sense to me why you would play a character that sucks at the thing that they're supposed to be good at. Like, if I'm playing a fighter, like I was reading NoNet1's tweet, and it's like, if your fighter has a 12 in strength, they're still a fighter. No, they're not. They're a piece of garbage who isn't going to contribute because they have a 12 in strength. Like, there is a mathematical basis for the things that you're going to fight against. And if you're not hitting the numbers that you're supposed to hit in your role, why are you even playing this character? And it just boggles the mind sometimes to go over these things, but it just I can see why it would appeal to some. I think there's a lot of not merit. I think there's a lot of enjoyment one can get out of taking a character that like sucks in the beginning but gets good by the end. But like, if you're playing a wizard, if you're playing a muscle wizard, you can just go fuck yourself. Like, for instance, if you're playing a wizard who gets up into melee and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be a muscle wizard, and it's like, and then you die in one shot because you have no AC and get crit by something, and then you're like, oh, this game sucks because I can't play a muscle wizard. No shit, Sherlock. You have no armor, no HP, no ways to defend yourself, and you have crappy weapon proficiencies. What did you think was going to happen? You should play your characters in their role. My problem with this is it goes back to a very old game that I used to play as a kid, when you put the shapes into little holes that correspond to them. If you have a square, you shouldn't be surprised when it doesn't fit in the fucking circle hole, dude. There's a reason why things go where they are, and this is an RPG. This is an RPG. Like, this is not a solo adventure. Like, you shouldn't attempt to try to be good at everything. And I guess it is something that everyone has to be on board with. But when I GM games, so I'm GMing for a bunch of undergraduates at college. Like, I take a look at their characters' power levels according to maps, of course, and they're all about like 4 or 5. And I'm looking at these stats, and I'm like, these guys are going to struggle with moderate level encounters. So I have to give them additional... I don't have to give them. I choose to give them. I give them additional loot because, I mean, that's why we play this game, to get a lot of loot. I give them extra loot, better stat ups, and I tone down my enemies on purpose because I know that they wouldn't be able to handle these things, or I'd be leaving it up to the dice, and I'd rather have more control over the difficulty of an encounter than say, okay, here's a severe, go fuck yourself. But again, it's a play what you want sort of thing. But if you're playing let's say you're playing a caster and you're not putting an 18 in your key ability score, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You're doing less damage. You have a less chance to hit. You're gonna feel worse when your abilities don't work because the numbers dictate that you're doing worse. So it makes me sad to see, like, oh, I want to play an underpowered character. Well, don't get mad when you're not contributing, and I'm playing tomorrow, which is awesome because that campaign's my fucking favorite. Again, no offense, but one of the players got really upset. Like, he was having a great time and laughing along, making jokes until he saw me roll damage, and I was basically doubling his damage output. And he wasn't doing anything wrong particularly. He was playing a mastermind rogue. Or he's playing a swashbuckler. I was playing ranger. I'm playing a precision ranger with strength. And I was doing like 25 damage per hit. He was doing like maybe half that, level 3 or 4. And he's like, why can't I do as much damage as you? I'm like, I'm playing a strength-based build. Of course I'm going to do more damage. That's all I fucking got. Like come on, dude. Like, what? That was a character that I really enjoyed playing. And he's also very good at what he does. He just does a fuck ton of damage because precision rangers do that. But like, it's hard to truly rate these characters. Maybe I should just rate them individually and then take the average on the whole. But it is difficult to rate these things individually and expect to get an average result. And of course, I'm actually going to reduce. I'm pulling this down to a 5. Because this is the class at a glance value. Not full key score to be for carry is meant to be really good at 2 things. But here's the problem. Well, here the counter argument to that is you can always do 18, 16, 12, 12 if you're playing a human. Because you can go strength dex, strength or dex, and then strength dex con whiz. Or whatever ability score spread you're going for. So you always have that option of 18, 16, as opposed to, say, 16, 16, 14, 12. Because trying to be good at 2 things, oftentimes, the more things you try to be good at, the worse you tend to be as a character. And there's a reason why Jack of all trades characters don't work in games, because games like this that promote cooperation and teamwork expect people to be really good at a couple of things because everyone has a role and you should be filling different roles in the party. Ideally, can't wait for our 5 angry guys go to wizard school. In any case, but yeah, these scores are really glance value scores. Like, they can go up and down based on how you'd like to spec them. But if you're just doing a generic average build, this is what you can expect out of it. And I think that's what I want to see out of this mini-series moving forward. The peak performance of RPG. Yeah. Is to just if I'm looking at this class, if I'm taking a glance value at this class, what does this class bring to a table without going into the nitty-gritty of all of these feats? Like, how I'm very tempted to put ease of use as a category. I want to put another category. I thought about this last night in bed because that's what I do with my life. I want to put it in another category. Insert one left. Ease of use. Like, how badly do you have to min-max this character for it to be good? Like, a fighter is a 10. You don't need to do anything. Oh, oops, I want to remove this conditional formatting. Data format. Oh crap. Let me do this. Insert one right. Okay, perfect. Too many categories? I don't think this is too many categories. I think this is the right number. I think we needed a 7th category. Ease of use. Like, how easy is it to just pick up this character and play it? I think the Bard's an 8. I think the Cleric's an 8. I think the Witch is a 6. I think the Oracle's like a 3. You need to really work it with the Oracle for them to be good. You need to micromanage a lot. Wizard is the same thing. I think Wizard's like a 4. Druid's probably like a 6. They're pretty intuitive. Sorcerer is probably an 8 as well. I think Sorcerer is just very easy to use, and you don't need to really min-max in order to get the most out of it. Or maybe this shouldn't be easy to use. Maybe this should be potential. I don't know. I like ease of use because it's a category for noobs. Yeah, Monk ease of use probably a 4. I don't think monks are very easy to use at all. Champion is probably like an 8. Rogue 7. There's a lot of moving parts with a rogue, so I'll put like a 7. Fighter 10. Easy. Fighter is very easy to use. You just pick a feat, you pick sudden charge, and you go to town on wall things and enjoy your crit modifier. I think Ranger is like a 4 as well. Ranger is really hard to use well. Barbarian 10. Rage, go fight things. Swashbuckler 4. I think Ranger is easier to use than Swashbuckler. I think Monk's easier to use than Swashbuckler as well. Investigator 1. Investigator is not that hard to use. 4. Investigator 1. Alchemist is so fucking hard to use. Alchemist is so fucking hard to use. Alchemist negative, please. I think having a separate category for them was probably better. Oop. I think there should be like maybe like another category here. Like how noob friendly are these characters? They're not going to go into my ratings because you're expected to know how to play them. Making an alchemist took 2 days of your life. So alchemist is definitely a 1. They're really hard to use. Monks is like 7, 6. Did I give him like a 6? Champion probably like a 7. Rogue probably 7. Fighter 10. Ranger 6. Barbarian 9. Maybe even a 10. Swashbuckler 4. Investigator 3. Wizard probably like 4. Druid 6. Sorcerer 8. You can just blow things up. To be honest, you don't have to think. How hard do you have to think when you play this class? So the lower the number, the more you have to think. Bard, do you need to think if you're a bard? There is some micromanagement. I'd say playing a bard is harder than playing a sorcerer because you have to micromanage lingering, you have to micromanage your focus pools to do the things you want to do. It's good stuff, but cleric, which is so hard to use. Give him a 5. Is they harder than wizard? No, because they suck more. Oracle's like a 3. I'd say cleric, ease of use is probably like an 8. Just cast evil. You only have 2 actions of bard to worry about? That's because Bevan doesn't know what he's doing, dude. What you should be doing is like, do I need to heroic? If you don't need to do that, you just fucking go lingering, and then you can free up your action economy because you're not gonna fail. At this point in time, you have like maybe a 10% chance to fail the check anyway. You have so many things that you can use. Like, well, I have to cast this spell every turn. You don't have to do that. And that's what bothers me. He's complaining about his initiative. He's complaining about his action economy. And it's like, well, dude, you don't know what you're doing, so of course you're going to complain about them. And if I give the solution to him, then he's going to balk at it because he doesn't like taking orders from me. Which is fair. It's understandable. I can be a jackass sometimes with that sort of thing. I try not to be, but it's like, come on, man. Come on, I believe in you. You can just cast Lingering. If you don't think you need Heroic for this performance, just don't use it. I don't know if I should tell him that, or just let him figure it out on his own. I'll wait till next combat. I was like, if you don't think you need to use Heroic, you have another one. You called Life Oracle bad? I did. It's not that it's bad. It's just that Cleric's better. If you're playing a Life Oracle, why not just play a Cleric? They accomplish the same thing, and it doesn't. It's less good. I have more fun balancing health versus here's health, but that's the thing. You don't need to balance health. You can just say here, have some hit points, and then enjoy the rest of your life. I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, but that's lame. Yeah, but I mean that's the problem with optimization. The more optimized you get, oftentimes the more boring your character is going to become. But that's just how optimization goes. You got to pick one of the. I mean, I don't mind playing boring. I mean, it does get unfun. Like when I play my witch on Thursdays, it's like I cast Evil Eye. They save. Great. I cast Electric Arc. They save or maybe fail. Great. Next turn, what are you doing? I'm going to cast Electric Arc because I really don't fucking know what to do with my life. And it's like, what else am I supposed to do? You know? I really don't know. So that's all I have for tonight. Let's go find someone to host, and then let's call it a day. Maps for balancing fun and power. I don't know how to do that because my idea of fun is going to be different than other people's ideas of fun. And I don't necessarily think that it's fair. I'm going to rate Spark Mage 21. He's playing Age of Ashes. Let's go say hi to him. And I will see you. Did that not work? Did that work? Am I high? Oh, it did work. Okay. I don't understand why it's working. But now you get Streamception, so haha. Bye.